Hey everyone, this is Aaron with Crypto Trends. Today, October 7th, 2019. Vechain, yes, Vechain, PWC and Walmart US. We're going to be taking a look at that. Also, BTC, watching for a drop. We're going to be looking at the charts here. Before we start, please keep in mind that this is not financial advice, just my opinion. Alright, so let's get to Vechain. Love Vechain. VET is its symbol, and you can check it out and stuff like that. I'm sure you know about it pretty much. If not, do your research. But let's get to VET. What is in the news? Well, there is a post here, and the link is below. It's on a Twitter feed from Martin. Looks like Martins, Martijn. So shout out to him. This is on the OceanEx meetup. First off, let me make sure that I am indeed streaming, and yes, I am. All right, excellent. All right, so this is just a real quick video. Anyway, the link is below to this, and if you listen to this, Sunny Lou, that's Sunny Lou there in the picture, he is talking about PWC US. That is not China, but US, where he has like a good feeling about him. That's kind of like what he's alluding to. Real good feeling that they are looking at doing something similar that they did with Walmart in China for Walmart US. So nothing 100% confirmed on that, but hey, I mean, in China they can pretty much mandate things and they can see how it goes. And I'm talking more about the vendors over in China, okay, where they can mandate things easier than they can in the US. At least to get tests up and running quicker. So it's a real good test bed for proof of concept stuff. And yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. Could we actually see PWC US branch work with Walmart US? And if you didn't know, Walmart is based in the US, of course. Of course you knew that. There's also he also talks about DNVGL, where they're my story. They have plans for that to become the future standard for all of the wine in Italy. Wouldn't that be cool? So I mean, that's their dream. That's where they want to go and stuff like that with the My Stories for the traceability of wine. And Italy produces a lot of wine the last time I checked. Also, another interesting comment here from Vechain World on this Twitter feed. Vechain World says, talking about Sunny, he definitely said that Walmart China's traceability system will see traceability fresh meats account for 50% of the total sales of packaged fresh meat. Traceable vegetables will account for 40%. Traceable seafood, about 12.5% of the total seafood sold by the end of 2020. Isn't that really cool? So check this out. Go ahead and listen to this. I'm not playing it because I might get tagged and stuff like that, but definitely give it a watch. And this was sent to me by a wonderful, fantastic viewer. And yes, I have many fantastic viewers. Okay, so that is Vechain. Keep your eye on Vechain. What is VET doing right now? Let's go take a look at it. VET versus BTC. Why not? Check a look at it on Binance. This always cracks me up. It is so heavily controlled on Binance. It's you have to scroll way out here. This is on the 2-hour for VET versus BTC. Lo and behold, there's my little line of where I having it go. We'll see if it does that. Yeah, so we'll see if it can come up here and retest this line here. We'll see, right? Okay, it's looking good so far that it might be on its way. Keep in mind, these lines aren't quite to scale. They're just kind of a general crypto trend. Alrighty, so that is VET BTC. Let's go take a look at VET versus USDT. VET USDT. We'll look at that on Binance as well. And there we go. So it's right now hitting this long-term line. Where did that long-term line come? Let's go out to the day. And there it is. All it was is a drawn line from here from, let me scroll in so you guys can see. Okay, from the lower point over here on the left to this other lower point here. And so it's going up and it looks like it's just starting to find resistance on that line. So we'll see what happens with that. But pretty much it's following right along with Bitcoin. And this brings us to BTC. Whoops, USD. And let's look at it on, let's take a look at it on Bitstamp. This is on the day. And it's just kind of going here just a little bit. Yeah, it came down for that big drop, right? It totally missed this up slope here. It I don't know, guys. It's sending a lot of mixed signals. Here. This isn't the greatest chart. Let me go to a different one where I have it marked up. BTC, USD. Have all my markings on Bitfinex, on the Bitfinex chart. Okay, so right here, here's my long-term box I've had there for months and months. It's eaten through that box, as you can see, dipping down into it, etc. And the thing to note here, this is on the daily, is that if you take a look at all these closes, it's just come down here and it's really having a, looks like a hard time to bounce above this level right here. So what are we getting? We are actually getting higher, lower highs. The highs are lower, right? So it looks like that. But then, hey, it looks like it just bounced above. Hey! So we'll see what happens with that. One thing to note on this chart is that, yeah, it does look iffy. It's going sideways. Is it going to bounce up or not? One nice thing, let's take another look as we're analyzing this, is this close down here, right there, is that close. It is low. It's a low close, and these are on bars, okay? Bars make it easier, well, for my opinion, for me at least, to see the closes. So we have this close, and then we had this nice up thrust here. And usually when it's a close down at the bottom like this, at the bottom of the bar, it's you can think of it like your foot kicking a ball, and the ball goes up like that, okay? So that's one way to kind of account for that. Check out that trend, eh? But anyway, so yeah, it, you know, the foot kicked the ball up and it went up and it's still going right up here. So we'll see if it continues to go, and if it definitely can break this line. This is where we're looking to see if it can come up and break that. That would be a wonderful thing. And then the next target would be this, and then this one right here, of course. One thing to note on why there's mixed signals, though, is because the trend. And let me go ahead and kill that other one. We switch here, turn that off. There we go. Can I delete that? No. There we go. Okay, the trend is your friend, right? Trend is your friend. And so that's on the macro. Trend is your friend. Keep that in mind. That has some not so great stuff about it. I do have a box up here. I'm going to actually extend that out further. That's what I'm going to do. And one thing to note here is this little pattern of these lines. Let me zoom in on those so we can see what's going on with that. Oh, okay, that doesn't tell us much. Let's go to the 45 minutes so we can get some more resolution there. Oh, that kind of screwed everything up. Let's see, where are they? Where are you little blue lines? There you are. Okay, one thing to watch out for, guys, and that is if you take a major volume, okay, a major volume, a big bar, big candle, and you draw a line from the top to the bottom, okay, that's what I have here, and we're looking at a relative downtrend in that area, okay. What we're looking for, or signs that don't look so great, would be where you draw a line right in the middle, whammo, okay. And then you look for it to go up and test, and we want it to go above. But if it goes below, like it did here, and then it doesn't ever get above there for a while, and then we see like another bump go up here, this bump right there is like your last chance. You can check out the charts, and you can see how many times that pattern has been fulfilled. It's not 100%, of course. I mean, the thing could just zoop up, right? Yeah. But anyway, let's take a look to see what we have going on here. Let me scroll on over. So I'm scrolling on over. See if we can see a similar pattern. Come on, zoomy thing. Okay, there we go. So similar pattern. You can just take this whole thing and blow it up, okay? So let's go draw our little lines. So we'll do it from the top of this one. Okay, yeah, close enough. And then from the bottom of this one. Oh, look at that. It's right on that line. Okay, and then one in the middle. Yeah, it's about, hey, look, that white line's right in the middle, isn't it? Okay, we'll just put it right below so we can see. Okay, that's not quite the middle. What am I talking about? Actually, right about where it hit. Right about there is about in the middle, okay? So 50%. And, well, look, it came up and it hit above there, right? Okay. But it's all fallen below, and we've just had lower highs, except for this last little part here, where it looks like it's really testing it. And can it go up? We'll see, but it's testing it right there. If it bounces down low, then watch out for, let's draw that little pattern that we drew up here with these blue lines, okay? So let's get a little brush out. And so be like right here, down, it's down in the lower thing, it comes up. And then this would be our last one, okay? So really things aren't looking, you could say that things aren't looking so great for BTC if indeed it follows that pattern, because the volume is pretty pathetic. There is some nice buy volume here though, which is down in this area. Let me bring this up. There is some nice buy volume, which is good to see. Let me put auto back on. That's a pretty ugly thing. Let me get that off of there. So yeah, BTC could take a terrible dump. Why else? What else is going on? They are preparing you news-wise. They are giving you the excuses now for BTC to just take a dump. And what are they? Well, you have the you have all the ruckus about Trump being impeached, right? It's not an impeachment. It's like they're talking about impeachment before it goes like it's an official impeachment thing. But they're making news as if it's like a real deal. So they're scaring the people there. Also, you've had some Marines activated for possible, let's call it just training for now, inside the U.S. So and they did that now, and by the time they get everybody in and trained and suited up and all that stuff, it takes a little while to get prepped for good readiness. It takes about a week and a half, and lo and behold, what's happening in about a week and a half, 2 weeks? The declassification for FISA. Yeah. So that is going to be a really important day to watch, okay, is the declass on FISA. Also, we've had some really big news on Tether and Bitfinex, where there is, well, they're having some troubles again, where they're really starting to say the SEC starting to, well, anyway, the SEC isn't liking Tether so much. They're investigating it, etc. So check that out. I wish I had the link for it here, but it's on my phone. I don't have it here yet, and I'm just doing a quick video. But anyway, do your research on Bitfinex and Tether. They're in the news again about, well, not quite being on the up and up. The gist of it is where they're operating in New York after they're told to stop and not do that. They're calling it possible securities, because what are they doing? They're loaning. They found out that they were loaning Tether to very large entities. They even named Novogratz as one of them. Now keep in mind, I can't say if this is true or not, okay? Just do your own research and put it in the comments below what you've heard or what read. But it doesn't matter if it's true or not, because that's how these people operate. They just throw whatever story out there just to make it be FUD so they can drive the prices down. It's part of their manipulation propaganda machine. Always keep that in mind, and it's done for a reason. Why do they want to drive this thing down? Well, and then also all the news of back being slow. What is up with that? Well, I mean, it just got started, man. It just got started. Can you use that as an excuse? No, No, you really can't, because the CME, when it just got started, it dumped the next day, right? It dumped. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? What do you mean it dumped? Well, let's go back here to the day. Right here, started dumping. That's right when the CME futures went live. Boom, boom, boom. And then they had their good friends from Mt. Gox dump as well. Dump, dump, dump. Anyway, that's about it, guys. So keep an eye for Bitcoin to dump. That's what I'm doing. But at the same time, this is FUD, so you got to take it with a grain of salt. And notice I have my little green chart here. So if let me just kind of, that's when I drew it originally, that this was going to be like a general pattern it's going to follow. It wasn't a time scale or whatever. But let me just go ahead and extend it right about there. How does that look? Yeah, okay, let me bring this little green box over, okay? So there you go. Also, one interesting thing is on the Dow. Let me see if I can bring this up if it allows it. On the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Does it allow me? Yeah, it does. Okay. They are setting this bad boy up to fly, man. This thing is going to fly, and this is really good news for us, okay? This is really good news. Look at that. Don't look at the tops. Look at the bottoms. Be a bottom guy. Come on, guys. Look at the bottoms. There you go. And where's this thing going? Well, right now it's sitting about 26.5, okay? Where I think this is going, where they actually have this plan to go, is let me draw a little box here. And this is for the Dow Jones as a whole. I think that they are looking at about, they want to get this thing in the 35-40 range. That's where I think they want to get it. So right about, they want this thing to blow up. Blow up in a good way, not as in a, it's going to be destroyed, but just to really increase, let's see, right about here. I think it's going to be a lot more aggressive to get up here. So I think we're going to be seeing a lot of good news come right around there. So I'm going to leave that box there as a target, and that's for the Dow Jones. Let me put it auto back on, and it's off the chart, man. Let me turn auto back off and scroll on down. There you go. So relatively, oops, there. So that actually can just go zoop right around in there, and I think they're going to be a little bit more aggressive than that. So that would be good news. So here's one of my favorites that I just love. And that's Lockheed Martin, LMT, and lo and behold, hit my box, and it bounced right off of there. So, hey, that's cool. It's going right along as planned, so Lockheed is great. They made the SR-71, if you guys didn't know, the SR-71, and a lot of other cool planes, and a lot of black projects they do. Interesting stuff. Fantastic company. And then also MSFT, that's on NASDAQ, and they're holding steady, but still they have higher lows. Okay, this is a big boy here. Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft, Lockheed, and Kimberly-Clark are really good key indicators. What does Kimberly-Clark make? Toilet paper. Everybody needs that. Well, maybe not. Anyway, so that's about it, guys, and don't forget to go and check out this tweeter, this tweet, okay? Need some coffee. Go ahead and check out this tweet. Watch Sunny Lou, has some real interesting stuff to say, and tell me what you guys think of Vechain. All right, and that's about it. So don't forget to like, subscribe, get notified. Finally got my internet back up, so happy about that. All right. Hey, and there's people on the chat, so I'm going to say hi to some people on the chat real quick and then take off. So thanks for watching, guy. Hey, Scout Sniper, how's it going? Yeah, long time no see. Yeah, internet issues. That's really bothering me. I had to look at everything on my phone, and my phone is not conducive for making videos on YouTube. That's to say the least. So anyway, thanks for everything. Thanks for watching. Somehow BTC has dropped to my little green box. Yeah, it has. Isn't that amazing? BTC USD on Bitfinex. Yeah, this is my little yeah, somehow it dropped all the way there. A lot of people saying, oh no, it's not going to drop all the way down there. I had this thing drawn back in, I don't know, must have been July, where I thought I was going to be going. They extended this longer. They extended this period longer here of coin extraction than I anticipated that they would have. Looked like it was just going to continue down this line and hit it, but nevertheless, it hit down here. This is a big thing to where it didn't hit the bottom of this, which is very, that's about 75 level, where it didn't hit the bottom of that, which is nice. It bounced above, and it's maintaining pressure to keep above that line. So we'll see what happens. Right around here at the 8100 is looking like a pretty good level of support right now. So my next little green box is, yeah, I'm going to extend that out a little bit further. That looks about right. Because they are prolonging things. So that's my little green box, and that's my little caution box. Like if it comes down below that, that's like a oh shit type of thing. But yeah, interesting how these little boxes work out. And yeah, I do have a method. I do well, one of them is by remote viewing, believe it or not. Basically just call that calling upon your intuition. And then, of course, I have my own special flavor of charting, which is a combination of various techniques and stuff like that, okay? And, of course, fundamental analysis and market psychology and game theory and all that good stuff. Anyway, but yeah, interesting that it hit there. So where do you think it's going? Do you think it's going to dump? And if it dumps, if this thing dumps, let's say, let me get out my little brush here. If this thing dumps, we're not looking here. We're not looking at this line. We are looking right around here. You see how there's no activity in this area here? So we're looking for it to dump there. Or where else could it dump? If it keeps on going, then we're looking down here in this range, which would be about the 1200, 1300 range. That would really suck, right? Unless you're a buyer. Then that would be like awesome. You know, that's your chance, right? If it goes through here, I'm not looking for this to have any support whatsoever, because Bitcoin disrespects us, right? Anyway, back to the chats real quick. So thanks for the comment. Oh, JB wants to know, hey there, JB wants to know how LTC is looking to me. LTC Litecoin. Oh, we'll go see. LTC, USDT, USD to Tango. We'll look at a Binance. Okay, we had a boom, boom, boom. Went up above, came down, test lower area. It's actually looking pretty good. It's right in line with standard testing. Basically, the Wyckoff stuff, where it came down here, hit a spring, came up here, did its market value. This area is a pattern of reaccumulation. Okay, reaccumulation, and you can actually see it starting to come up after a nice bounce here. It didn't hit that line, which is a wonderful thing. So it came back here, and yeah, what happens here in Wyckoff? Okay, there's my brush, Wyckoff stuff. It comes down here, it goes like that, and it might come down here for another spring, then hit, and then start going off. Okay, so that's Litecoin. I mean, it could do that. That's a general pattern for Litecoin as I see it. So hey, it's not looking all that bad. Do I think it's going to come down here? No. Litecoin seems to have some pretty nice pressure. I think some pretty nice pressure. We did see a lot of sells here. It took a big sell volume there to push it down that far. Which means a lot of upward pressure. So this line is being defended here. This area is being defended, and we'll see what happens with Litecoin. But it doesn't look all that bad to me. Okay, thanks for the question. Hey, Dances, how's it going? Says, I'm waiting for the real BTC reset. Yeah, the real BTC reset will be when it hits around 1300 and then drops to about 700 to 500. And that will be That is not out of the question, guys. That is not out of the question. BTC could take a dump because there's nothing backing BTC. Keep that in mind. There is nothing backing BTC. Let me just tell you about a fallacy that people have, okay? We're looking at a chart here. We're looking at a chart. Just say this Litecoin thing we're looking at versus USDT. We're looking at BTC versus USD. Okay, and there's all this talk about a big old market crash and stuff like that. Let's say if there's a market crash, then it would be BTC compared to nothing. What do I mean by nothing? Well, the dollar's gone. It's crashed. It's not there. So what are you going to compare it to? Ether? You're going to compare it to Ethereum? You're going to compare it to what? You won't have anything to compare to because the dollar is going to be gone, right? It's going to be gone. Let's say, using that time, this theory that, the whole thing's going to crash. It's going to hell in a handbasket. Okay, so you're just going to have BTC. So BTC is going to be worth BTC. So if that's the case, and if you think the market is going to crash, then why in the heck would you even care about the price? You wouldn't. What you would be doing is you'd be buying as much Bitcoin as you possibly can, because what you're doing is you would be in the mindset that you are purchasing your future, your dollars to use basically in the future. So let's say you're planning to go to a foreign country. And so what you do is you, when the price of that currency is low, you hoard it, right? You get as much as you can cheap. And then, that's a bad analogy. But no, that's kind of like what you're doing. And then what you do is that you move to that country. And so you're no longer going to be using the US dollar. You're going to be using the euro, let's say, okay? And so you really don't care about the USD. It's like gone as far as you're concerned. So you're purchasing your future dollars that you're going to use in whatever country, just saying the EU area. You're purchasing your dollars that you're going to use there. Same thing as Bitcoin. You're purchasing your Bitcoin. If the market falls, there's not going to be anything. But where does that go? Well, what will happen if that does happen? Nobody's going to be able to get on-ramped to Bitcoin. No, only those people with other altcoins where the Bitcoin people are willing to trade an alt for Bitcoin. Is that likely if everything goes to hell in a handbasket? I don't think so, with one exception. Well, two exceptions, and that's Vechain and Digibyte. Okay? Keep an eye on Digibyte, guys. So this whole scenario with the whole market going to hell in a handbasket just makes me really confused. I don't think it's going to happen. If that happens, then Bitcoin's going down with it, because it's not practical. It's not in use. It's not in use. It's not a storage of value. It's not this or that. Bitcoin's only use case is the transmission of wealth from you to the whales. I mean, that's its use case, and that's fine. Keep that in mind, and we can play their game. Okay, we're playing their game with them. Anyway, enough of that. That was on a big tangent. Sorry, guys. But yeah, Litecoin's looking okay to me. Waiting for the big BTC reset. Yeah, it could be happening. We'll see. Hey, Brad, thanks for watching. What's my opinion on the VET chart? It follows Bitcoin. It follows Bitcoin. We'll look at it versus USDT here. Vechain this is a long-term thing for Vechain. Like, I have a little green box up here. I'm going to go ahead and extend that. So Vechain here is following along a lower pattern. It's heading back up for after the it had its automatic rally. Selling climax. It's coming down here for a test, more secondary test right here, and what happens is that it usually starts bounce. This whole area here, this is long term, this is on the day, this whole area here could actually be a spring where it starts to come up and really starts to move. So we'll see. But the stuff with Vechain is that the things to actually get, this is one with real world use case. I mean, come on, it can be used. I mean, it is like there. The problem is the length of time it takes to onboard the vendors. Okay, it's not something they could just flip a switch, because they have to pay the programmers, if they have in-house programmers, to change the systems and get it set up. Or if they bought a system from another, let's say, a software company, then they have to beg and plead for that software company to basically push aside its other clients and put them in front of the pack to get this stuff going fast, and so they can make the modifications to their code. if they even are willing to do that, or even if the software company that wrote it is even still alive and exists. So that could take weeks, months, or years to once the management says, yeah, we are definitely going to Vechain. It could take them a while to actually get on board software-wise. Okay, so keep that in mind. It's just not a flip of the switch. But Vechain for me is a long-term hold. This was one just like the key TKY, where I just said, okay, I'm buying in and I'm holding for 5 years as a social experiment, let's call it. And then it's like, go back and look at the price in 5 years, re-examine if I want to dump it at that time. Okay, and but anyway, Vechain right now is going through a predictable life cycle, according to Wyckoff. Okay, it's a Wyckoff pattern. So we'll see. But I like Vechain. Strong fundamentals. Thanks for the question. So Michael Baker says the key has applied a series of patents with the application and deployment of BDMI. Yeah, it has. The stuff that came up in like Twitter or Reddit or whatever, that's like fairly old news. But nevertheless, they do have a bunch of patents, as well as them being fully funded for their stuff. The thing is that, hey, at least it's a tweet, right? So they're still alive. And don't forget that eBownet, it's basically they're taking their program that they're working on, and they're putting they're integrating the key into it. So eBownet is still kicking, they're still alive and stuff like that. And the key is just like, well, we'll see what happens with that. There hasn't been any news basically from them for a while, since they basically said that they had to kind of like almost restart and redesign what they were originally doing because of the scale and the magnitude, and things change, which were fleshed out during their trial period that they had. And so they said, hey, we really need to look at this thing and really bump it up, and that type of thing. So keep an eye on the key. It's at all-time lows right now and stuff like that. I'm not saying buy, not saying sell, just, hey, do your research on it. Tell me what you think about it. Yeah, and the first patent was the pensioner survival certificate based on blockchain. Yeah, on BDMI. Yeah, that's a really cool thing. They had the little application that they had a nice display of at a convention where they can go and take a look at it and stuff like that. Pretty cool stuff. Hey, Woot! Yeah, finally I'm back. I know, glad to be back. That is for sure. I felt, oh man, I was itching to get back. That's for sure. Anyway, thanks. Let's see. He says, thought bear market got the best of me. No. And Vechain keeps surprising us. Yes, it does. It is just full of surprises. And that is one thing that you look for when you do fundamental analysis. You look for an entity that can keep on popping up these surprises long term. And Vechain is associated with a good old DNVGL. Hey, check them out. Anyway, okay, so hey, there's Ryan. Hey, Ryan. So, Digibyte, how's Digibyte looking? I don't know, but Digibyte has really, really good long-term energy. See what it looks like. This is, okay, ooh. According to my thing, it's failed miserably. Did not go up there as originally thought. Okay, that's a failed test. That's all that is. In phase C, thinking that this was a spring, definitely not. Came down here, all-time lows. This could definitely be the spring right here. So keep an eye on Digibyte. When it comes way down here, that drastically, it might come down here for another drop and then start bouncing up. But what I would expect is for it to definitely come up here. I can't say definitely, but what I am expecting is for it to come up here, test this level, and then this level in the long term. We'll see if that happens. Can it keep on dropping? Yeah. For me, this is like a very, very long-term hold. It's like this has energy. This is one of the very, very few coins other than Vechain that have more longer-term energy than Bitcoin and Ethereum as far as survivability. Okay? For survivability, did you buy it in Vechain? Possibly the key. The rest of them, they don't have energy that goes beyond 5 years from now. That's all I can say. But you can possibly make a boatload of dough between now and then, if then ever comes, right? Hopefully it doesn't. Anyway, that's about it, guys. So time to take off. Got to go get a coffee, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, get notified. Put down your comments, what you think about Vechain, and do that after you watch this video with the possible Walmart, and PWC US. Yeah, so check that video out on that tweet. Have a great day, guys. Take it easy. Bye.